Hello, hello. Welcome back to the MTUG Telethon. It is my privilege to introduce one Charlotte Banji, the Mistletoe Mistress.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are privileged to have as our special honored guest this evening, the dynamic Patti LaBelle. Patti's recording and acting career has pushed her to the pinnacle of show business. Here to sing this Christmas is Patti LaBelle. Welcome.
I'm gonna get to know you better. This Christmas. Where are my background singers? Woo! Oh, baby, and there's some wrong words on the cue cards. I don't know the song. This Christmas, I'm gonna have them all I can. Because I don't have the right words and I have no background singers. Oh, I don't. This is gonna be a very Merry Christmas for you and me. Yeah. Where are my background singers? Presents and cards are here. My world is filled with cheering you. Oh my God, this Christmas, lights sprinkle all around. Next card, honey, next card. Woo! Woo! Thank you. We'll be caroling through the night. And this Christmas will be a very special Christmas. A very special one for you and me. Yeah. Oh my. Well. Ooh, let me see that card again, darling. Let me see that card again. Let me see that one more time because, oh God, the sergeant, first class, Rick Perrell playing a solo. I had to see his name. His name is on the card. Give him a big hand, please. The firesides are blazing bright. We'll be caroling through the night. Oh, it's Christmas with me. Thank you, darling. It's gonna be a very special one for you and me. Yeah. Let's shake a hand with the fellow man. Shake a hand with the fellow man. We'll make this Christmas last forever. Woo! Thank you!
Thank you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. And no thanks to my background singers. They're not here. I don't know if you heard. Yes, my name is Charlotte Banji. She's back from the dead.
Ladies and gentlemen,
It's been a long time. Yeah. I wanted to leave y'all. Yeah, I would know. But I'm here at the MTUG Telethon. Thank y'all for having me. This is the Mistletoe Mistresses After Midnight Special. Yeah. No refunds. No refunds. But thank you for joining me. I know it's late. I know it's probably after bars time. You've closed out your bar tab. You might be bringing home a very handsome or beautiful person back to your lair. So if you are, turn on turn on this live stream. Check us out. See what we're doing. It's almost 3 in the morning. I know you spent a lot of money at the bars, right? Probably bought a bunch of poppers. So donate to MTUG so we can buy some poppers because we need some in here right now. No, but you know, we do a lot of great work with Metro Trans Umbrella Group. So I'm so happy and honored to be invited back for a 3rd year to do a little performance. They told me I had the whole hour to do whatever I want. And I know you're probably gagged because this is probably the most clothes you've seen on me in a long time, right? Clap if you've seen this much clothes on me. Yeah. Oh, no one's clapping. No one's clapping. But you're right. It's just, usually I do very scandalous numbers. Usually I get naked. Sometimes I say very adult things. So you might get a little bit of that. It might be tamed down a little bit because obviously there might be kids up watching. I know I used to stay up to the wee hours in the morning as a little 12-year-old, 13-year-old, 14-year-old trying to scour whatever queer representation was out there. So if the kids are out there, hello, welcome. You're not alone. But since I have some time to kill, before we get into the show, I want to send out a little challenge for your after-bar creatures. I know, like I said, you spent a lot of money at the bar. Maybe you took some Ubers. Maybe you bought a round of shots. So I know you got money to give to us, right? You got some money. But to make it worth your while, I'm going to do a little challenge for y'all. So as you know, I do poetry and performance art. And right now I'm selling this little poem as a zine. You might have seen it out. It's called The Wagons Ain't Here Yet. It's an odyssey through the consciousness of a trans woman, right? In 2019, Trump's America. And I also made these cute little t-shirts. Now these are $20 a piece. So 2 zines, 2 t-shirts of your choosing. That's like, what, $80? It's an $80 value. So what I'm challenging the viewers at home tonight, or this morning, is donate $100. The first one to donate $100 within this segment, you're gonna get this fabulous Wagons package. Great stocking stuffer for the kids, right?
Tell us a little more about that. What's in that zine?
Oh, so the zine is a collection of poems I wrote over the course of the last 2 years. It is actually illustrated and designed by a trans woman here in St. Louis. So this is an entirely trans-created piece of artwork, right? The same trans woman artist, Tucker, a dear friend of ours, also designed this fabulous t-shirt. So you are supporting trans artists in real time. You're supporting a trans-led organization in real time. So again, the challenge is the first person to donate $100, we will find your information. Mark Zuckerberg will give it to us. So we're going to find your information. We're going to give you this amazing stocking stuffer package. And there's an additional high roller challenge. The first person, and this can go on even after my segment, but the first person who donates $500 between now and the end of the telethon, I will personally come to wherever you want me to come, your choice of time and place, and I will read this to you as a bedtime story. For an arts event, right? You know, this is art, right? So you can do your next arts fundraising event. Your kid's bat mitzvah, like it's perfect for whatever event your heart desires. But again, the first person to donate $100 will get the t-shirt and the zine package stocking stuffer from me, a gift from me to you. And the first person to donate $500 or more, we don't want to just limit them, right? They could do $1,000, $1,500. That would be fabulous. That would put so much needed resources in the hands of the trans community here in St. Louis. So $500 or more. The first one throughout the rest of the telethon, I will come and read to you if you so wish. Maybe you don't want me to come within 800 miles of you. I don't know. Maybe. But yeah. But I have a lot of great things, and that's my warm up bits. Because I'm going to try something new. You know me as your local poet laureate of St. Louis, right? Your local trans poet laureate. But I'm gonna try some stand-up comedy, folks. Yeah. Never done it before. So again, the challenge is a gift from me to you in case I really bomb, which I could bomb this stand-up comedy challenge. But I'm gonna do great. Thank you, Kristen. Thank you. So I was also told, since I'm on so late at night, have a little bit more freedom. So I figured, let's just take it there. Let's talk about them. Let's talk about the darlings of our community. The TERFs. Hey, give it up for the TERFs. But you know what? I had a moment of clarity recently. I think I kind of have an understanding. But, well, maybe not of their entire worldview, of course. I mean, what are TERFs for those? Oh, what are TERFs? Good question from the audience. Trans exclusionary radical feminists. Like I said, the darlings. But, I had a moment of clarity. I think I might know why they don't like at least the trans women of our community, the trans femmes. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know their entire thinking, but I think it hinges on rompers. At least for the pre-op trans women. I mean, it's like, we don't have to get naked in the porta potties. We don't. I mean, it's a privilege. So maybe the TERFs are just, maybe that's why they're mad. Maybe that's why they're mad. Maybe that's where they're big mad. But you never know. And again, it made me think about, being so clothed tonight. And like I said, this is probably the most clothes you've seen on me in a long time, St. Louis. But this is a family-friendly show. And I truly believe my act is family-friendly. If your family uses the term Truvada whore in an affectionate manner, you're part of my family. This is family-friendly, right? Right. And we love PrEP. We love Truvada, folks, right? And I mean, it's not for everyone, but if that's what you choose to do to stay healthy, to keep your partners healthy, that's a great thing. And people don't realize PrEP is needed in the trans community. We have sex too, folks. We have sex too. So to my trans Truvada whores out there, I just want you to know I'm here with you in spirit this December. I will be calling each of you to ask you, did you douche this December? Did you douche? And, because, my comedy for this first birth of live television is going to hinge on poop jokes. It's going to hinge on a lot of poop jokes. Because, I mean, when all else fails in comedy, rely on scatology, scat humor. I mean, it's the oldest trick in the book. So in honor of that, I thought I might tell a story, my most famous poop story. Some of you may know it. Some of you have heard it many times. I've told it at family gatherings. I've told it to the DMV lady. I've told it to potential employers, but it's a very interesting story. And I'm gonna channel my inner golden girl right now. I'm gonna channel my inner golden girl. Picture it. O'Fallon, Missouri, 2010, circa. There was a little website back in the day. We all know about Grindr. We all know about Adam for Adam. We know about Manhunt. If you've been in this life for a minute, I used to be on those little things, and I was also on this little known site called Craigslist.com. A great website. We miss it. And I met a nice person on that website. And we made plans, like all great poop stories start. You make plans. And I got in my car, drove out to St. Peter's from O'Fallon, Missouri, and met this person in their basement, in their parents' basement, because they were living with their parents at the time. Which, I mean, I don't blame them. It was 2010. It was the recession. I was living in my aunt's basement. So it's just like, oh, I feel at home. I'm coming through the storm door. And so it's dark, really dark. The messages we exchanged on Craigslist was basically, Meet me in this spot in the basement. I'll be ready. We'll have fun consensually. And then you can leave. I was like, oh, perfect. I don't have to do anything. Just come in, come out. So did exactly that. Opened that storm door, went into that basement. They were there, like they said. They looked like their pictures, like they said. It's already a plus. Like, great. So we did our magical thing that we do. And in the middle of that, I smelled something. I felt something. I saw something. But you have to remember part of the story. This is their parents' house. So when I asked to use the bathroom, they're like, no, you can't go upstairs. I'm like, what? Like, I need to go upstairs. They're like, no, you can't go upstairs. I'm like, but I need to really go upstairs. They're like, you can't go upstairs. I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'm going to go home to my basement apartment and scrub myself. So I went, put my clothes back on in shame, got dressed, got my stuff, and I got in my car. And I'm like, okay, I'm not that far from home. My aunt's house is just, 10, 15 minutes away. But I was so disoriented. And I was not under any influence, folks. The influence I was on was daddy influences. That was my influence. But I get in my car, and I'm going down the wrong way, down a one-way. Because I'm thinking, where am I at? I don't know where I am. I'm in St. Peter's in the middle of the night. So I'm driving down the wrong way, down a one-way, and who else comes up behind me? Lisa, the 5-0. Of course. So I get pulled over. I know they're going to ask, what am I doing? Why are you driving down a one-way? It's the middle of the night. Do you have a license? I didn't have a license, folks. I was driving with an expired license. I know. So you already know what that means. You're queer. You're young. You already know what's going to happen. So I'm like, I have one chance. I have one chance out of this. What do? The officer pulls me over, asks for my license, asks for my registration. And I already know there's no license to give him. There's no car insurance to give him when you don't have when you have an expired, revoked license. So I'm like, well, officer, I don't have a license. They're like, okay. I'm like, it's revoked. Okay. Do you have car insurance? I'm like, well, I do, but it's not valid. I'm like, okay. So what are you doing out here? And then I had one chance, one opportunity. I told them exactly what happened. Told them exactly what was going on underneath the basketball shorts and the t-shirt I was wearing at the time. And I was like, just so you know, it's not pretty. It's not going to be pretty if you put me in the backseat of that squad car. And he got quiet. And he said, okay. And he called backup. So now I have two cop cars. They come back, ask me more questions. I tell them the same thing. They go back. I know they're probably laughing at me. Maybe saying some slurs, who knows. But they come back and they're like, listen, we know you have an expired license. We should be arresting you. But considering your condition, we're going to let you go. Granted, someone has to come pick you up in the next 15 to 20 minutes. And ladies and gentlemen, that's where true friendship begins. And I had a good friend of mine who did not live that far. He lived in North County at the time, and he came and got me. Came and got me, folks. He saved me from the poop police. Granted, we drove around the block so I could get back in my car and drive back home. But he saved me from the poop police. And that's my most infamous poop story. Which leads into my first knock-knock joke. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
It's the police, open up! That's the joke. That's the joke. FTP. FTP. But speaking of the police, did anyone see the news from Miami-Dade PD? The crazy video from the crazy hostage situation? Like, did anyone see this? Let's make some noise if you saw it. And it freaked you out like it freaked me out. It was interesting. It was crazy. To me, the craziest part of that news story was shortly after the smoke cleared, the Twitter account from the Miami-Dade Police Department said no Leos were harmed in this situation. That's like a Glacier Union releasing a statement when the Titanic went down. Hundreds of people died an excruciating death, but no ice cubes were hurt. Wasn't that crazy? That was the most interesting part of that situation. And we all know the trans community has a fraught relationship with the police department. And it's a historical relationship. And it's one that continues. And it's I'm proud to be a part of the trans community in St. Louis that has never let that issue go. We don't let it go in St. Louis. In other places, it might be, oh, we wash our hands of it. But in St. Louis, we really don't let it go. We're not happy with it, and until we're happy with it, we're not going to shut up about it. So I'm so proud of being part of a community in St. Louis that looks at our police department and says, no, this is not okay. We could do better. We could do better. So that brings me to my latest police encounter. I had one recently, folks. It was a doozy. It was a doozy. I was in thigh-high black boots, a mini skirt, a little tiny bra, and a see-through shirt. And I got pulled over in front of the Quick Trip. I had expired tags. This time I had a valid license, folks. Valid license, valid insurance, but I had expired tags. So, they pulled me over, gave me a lot of questioning. I was terrified. I mean, we already know why I was terrified. I'm like, wait, let's just start with the list. Trans misogyny, police brutality, misgendering, the Carcel Lake police state. We already know why I was terrified, but it was just like, oh my God. Okay, so, and my ID still says I'm identified as male. That's another reason why I was really scared. But, I don't know what it was. Maybe it was my pretty brown eyes. Again, they just let me off with a warning. But what terrified me the most during that whole ordeal was that I was about to leave that Quick Trip parking lot without a poop story. That, folks, is the real tragedy. The real tragedy of trans lives. So yeah, and as you know, if you read this book, this little zine, I talk a lot about the police. So if anyone has heard me read this, you might appreciate some of my views on the police department. So that's the end of my comedy bit. So if anyone has donated $100 throughout that excruciating comedy set, and I will promise, folks, I will not do another comedy set for a long time. But we have some other things that I'm good at. We have a cocktail segment. We have an interview segment with my trans mother, Van Barnes. We have a little story time, which that's obviously my specialty. And we have some more little lip sync drag. So get comfy, get settled in, and I'll be back. Thank you. And we're back, folks. What's up? What do y'all think about my outfit change? Santa's little helper. And you know what Santa loves? More than cookies. More than candy canes. More than Rudolph. Santa loves Tito's, vodka, handcrafted. So I'm going to be donning my best bareback Contessa tees. We're going to do a little cocktail tutorial for you kids. Now, I know some of you are still in party mode. It's 3 a.m. JJ's just closed. You know, you're not ready to turn it in for the night. So we got some cocktail recipes for you. And we also have these recipes can be used for the holidays. I know we're going to be around our families. We might need a little getaway mentally. So, you know, it's always good to have a little strong punch while you're at Christmas or Hanukkah or whatever holiday gathering you are with your family. And also I'm gonna do a great mocktail recipe for our non-drinkers. We have a lot of great sober folks in our community, so we wanna make sure they have something cute to sip on. Okay, so let's start with the mocktail. How about that, folks? We like that? We like mocktails? So, in case you didn't know, I bartended for several years in St. Louis. So I have a little bit of background in cocktailology. I have a big background in cock. But one of the great things for mocktails is coconut water, because coconut water has like a lot of mouthfeel to it. It's nutty. It could go citrusy for a like virgin mojito, or you could take it more wintry, right? So we're just gonna add a carton of coconut water, and look at that. Oh yes, and you don't have to fill your whole pitcher up, right? Because we're gonna add some other ingredients, but say about half right there. And also think about when you're making your drinks, that the ice you're using obviously is going to dilute it and add a little bit more liquid to it. So I want to add some lime because I want to add a little citrus to it. Because I was thinking, what's great with coconut? Lime. So it makes me think mojitos. And what's better than a virgin mojito? You get all the flavor without the hangover. So we're going to add a little bit of that. And I like ginger. So this is some ginger pineapple juice. I'm gonna add a little bit of that, give it a nice little zing. Sometimes these gingers have a little sediment, so you might want to shake it up. Do a little bit of that. See, look at that. And then the last thing we're gonna add is some mint. Just gonna give it a nice little herbaceousness. And we don't have obviously a proper cutting board, but you could like finely dice this. You could muddle this. I'm just going to slap it on the ass because the oils get released when you slap mint, folks. So we're just going to do that. And it gives a nice little thing. But you don't want a lot of the string, just the leaf. But if you get a little bit of the string, it's not a problem. It'll obviously add a little dimension to your cocktail. But we're going to add some more. I don't think that's enough mint for our kids at home, right? We'll do a little bit more. Remember, if you slap it, consensually, always consensually. But seriously, like the slapping does release oils. That's why you might see bartenders slapping. You're like, what are they doing? Why are they slapping it? Why are they slapping it? And look, I can smell it. It's like someone just ate a huge pack of spearmint gum and just decided to talk to me about their mortgage rate. So, and then I don't have a spoon, but you can mix this up. See that? See, oh, look at that. Look at that. Yeah, it looks like something from a porn I watched once. So that's our nice little mocktail. Does anyone in the audience want to try it? See if I did a good job? Any of our sober drinkers? Who wants to give it a try? Ah, yes. Come on. All right. And be honest with your true opinion. I can take the criticism. Oh, you gotta get in this. Get in the shot. Okay.
Oh, that's really good.
It is?
It's really good.
Does it kind of give you like a little mojito vibe without that rum?
Very mojito.
Very.
Great mocktail. Love it.
Fabulous. So just remember, folks, lime juice, coconut water, mint, and I just did a little splash of pineapple ginger. Now, kids, what we all came for. our fabulous Tito's Vodka sponsors. My favorite vodka, for real. Who has not made a drink for me at the bars? And what do I order, folks? Tito's and cranberry. I am basic. Tito's is my go-to. Tito's is my go-to, but I'm basic with my bar orders. I just like straight to the point. Tito's Cran, Tito's Club Soda. I don't need a super fancy cocktail, but I'm gonna make a super fancy cocktail for your holiday celebrations because Tito's is a great sponsor. They've been matching us, right, folks? They've been matching us to this night. So we want to definitely give them some love and definitely showcase Tito's. It's out of Austin, Texas, one of my favorite cities to visit. I've performed in Austin twice this year, so it's a great city. It's a great drinking town. They have fabulous cocktail bars. So we're gonna do a Tito's cocktail for you. Now, what I want to add first is some frozen berries. You can get this at Schnucks. You can even get these at Aldi's. I do a little medley of not super high acid berries because we're gonna use things like cranberry and cherry and orange juice, which has a lot of acid in it. So you don't want anything like that. So we're doing things like blueberries, blackberries, strawberries that are lower in acid but still give you that sweetness. And you can also, since these are frozen, you can go a little less on your ice because it has the coldness of ice. It's going to melt and dilute your cocktail like ice, right? Because they're frozen. And it gives you a nice little like color base to work with, color palette. And it's festive, folks, it's festive. So we're gonna start with, of course, the star of the show, Tito's Vodka. Now, you just wanna do about 2 shots of vodka. Two shots of vodka. A little orange juice, right? Again, that acid. We're gonna add some pomegranate. Oh no, this is cranberry. Pardon my flub. This is cranberry juice. We're gonna add some cranberry. Again, very festive. We're gonna add a little bit of cherry juice. This is light cherries. It's not gonna be super tart. We're gonna add a little bit of lime juice. And what's better for a nice Tito's cocktail than some seltzer? And of course, I gotta do the grapefruit. We gotta do the pamplemousse, right, folks? And I'll give it a little bubbles. And also, if you don't want to add the seltzer in with the pitcher, you can leave it out and then top it in the glass that you're going to use and serve the drink in. And who wants to join me in this festivity? Don't bum rush the stage, folks. Come on, who wants to come up here? Who's coming up here for the cocktail? You want to come up? Come up. Come on up. Tell the camera what your name. Come on up here. Tell the camera who you are.
Greetings and salutations. I'm Pharaoh Valentino.
Pharaoh Valentino. Thanks for joining me. Everyone give a little round of applause for Pharaoh Valentino. Now, okay. Again, I'm going to say just what I told Jolene. Be brutally honest. If it's gross, I can handle the criticism. But let's do a little cheers and let's see what it tastes like. And MTUG's reaching $30,000. Come on now. Because we can do it, okay? Let's take a sip. Oh, wow. You can't even taste the vodka. Ooh, now this is the dangerous drink. Cheers. No, it's not free. They gotta donate. Nothing's free for this telethon. They gotta donate. Well, maybe for you, babe. But for the people in the audience, remember, you gotta donate. You gotta support your trans community, because without the trans community, where would the LGBT community be? Nowhere. Well, thank you so much. All right, thank you, babe. Cheers. Ooh, all right. Ooh, this drink got me feeling a little XXX. Ooh. Are y'all feeling a little XXX? I'm ready, honey. I'm feeling.
Christmas, I'm a mess, mess, mess.
On the first day of Christmas, my daddy gave to me an ice-cold bottle of G. On the next day of Christmas, my daddy gave to me a tight mini skirt from Fendi. I know usually I'm way too busy at a photo shoot for a magazine, but on Christmas Eve, it's just you and me, and tonight the North Pole is melting. XXX, mess, mess, mess. Got Santa's commies on my chest, chest, chest. We split a pill of XXX. Merry XXX, miss, I'm a mess, mess, mess. XXX, mess, mess, mess. Got Santa's commies on my chest, chest, chest. We split a pill of XXX. Merry XXX, miss, I'm a mess, mess, mess. On the first day of Christmas, my daddy gave to me his dead wife's diamond wedding ring. On the next day of Christmas, my daddy gave to me a red and white candy G-string. I know usually I'm way too busy at a photo shoot for a magazine, but on Christmas Eve, it's just you and me, and tonight the North Pole is melting. XXX, mess, mess, mess. Got Santa's commies on my chest, chest, chest. We split a pill of XXX. Merry XXX, miss, I'm a mess, mess, mess. XXX, mess, mess, mess. Got Santa's commies on my chest, chest, chest. We split a pill of XXX. Merry XXX, miss, I'm a mess, mess, mess. Usually I'm way too busy at a photo shoot for a magazine, but on Christmas Eve it's just you and me, and tonight the North Pole is melting. XXX, mess, mess, mess. Got Santa's commies on my chest, chest, chest. We split a pill of XXX. Merry XXX, miss, I'm a mess, mess, mess. XXX, mess, mess, mess. Got Santa's commies on my chest, chest, chest. We split a pill of XXX. Merry XXX, miss, I'm a mess, mess, mess.
Oh, I don't know what came over me. Oh my God. Must be all the money y'all are donating to MTUG Telethon. Hey. Whew. Also, it's probably that fabulous cocktail I made from Tito's Vodka. Oh, well, thank you. I have just a little bit more left for this hour with Charlay. And we're going to go into what I'm known for, my literary prowess, and I'm going to read a little story time. I recently wrote this essay. I hope it resonates with some of y'all. And I wanted to write recently about the concept of living your best life. You see it all the time in hashtags. You see it on Facebook. You see it all over social media. You see it in just the real, traditional media about living your best life and how we can all live our best life and what that means and why aren't you living your best life? This is how you live your best life. And it kind of annoys me. It annoys me because as a trans woman, I feel like none of those messages resonate with what it means to live your best life as a trans person in America or even in the world right now. So I recently wrote this little essay, and I'm going to share it with you. And it's my signing off for the night. So I hope you had fun. I hope you laughed. Hope you giggled. Hope you got a cute recipe. But I hope with this little essay, you get a little introspective, if even just for a second. How to break rocks. If you truly believe you are living your best life, then stop listening to this now. Upcycle your time and enjoy the fact that you are winning. This essay is for the losers. The concept of living your best life is as old as the first Neanderthal showing the other homos how to break rocks. A cursory Google glance at the term brings up over 300 million hits from self-help books, seminars, vacations, astrology, new wardrobes, YouTube videos, mantras, massage therapy, doctors, psychiatry, religion, movies, and drugs. Instead of crushing stones, we now funnel hundreds of billions of dollars into finding this supposed best life. Astrology alone is a $2 billion industry, which means hundreds of thousands of people around the world look to center their lives on the zodiac scales. Even the stars ask us to buy something. The idea or image, or let's say astral projection, is that there is a best version of ourselves possible as people existing in this world. To be this person means you must be living it. The Instagram tag #bestlife has 2.1 million posts, and they're all well lit. There is a lot of yes in all of them as well. Yes to love. Yes to last-minute reservations at the expensive sushi restaurant. Yes to sweaters. Yes to a new job. Yes to sex. Yes to anything and everything that might resemble a shriek or a smile. That, however, would be the living part of the equation. To have a best life is a tall order when even a happy life is never guaranteed. Of course, we can say yes to being better than we were yesterday. A life's trajectory is made less petty and banal when we do. But if you can step back long enough from the warm light of the constant come-ups and glow-ups saturating the eye, you might notice cracks in the screen. The best life is how we convince others we have it. Kanye West told us he found Jesus and now he has it. Aunt Cindy might tell you her cancer is finally in remission. Or Donald Trump will tweet about his election results again. Our psyches filter every single one of these moments into a framework that tells us what our best lives could be. Some of us look to build stronger community bonds through local organizing. Some of us try to maintain our relationships. Some of us get sober, some of us may be intentional, and some of us may be lying about our best lives. As a projection, our best life exists for others to believe or to buy. And we as queer people need to start saying no to it all. If we began to say no, could we begin to be honest about our fractured community? Our trans and queer POC communities feel abandoned by the white cis gay majorities. We still have poor people dying of AIDS, and trans women are being imprisoned. What does it mean to be queer or gay or transgender and try to find your best life when we can still be fired or denied housing or banned from hospital beds for simply existing? What does showing others a best life do when it takes multitudes of filters and facetunes and finstas to believe it ourselves? The Supreme Court is expected in the coming months to hand down one of our nation's most crucial LGBTQ civil rights decisions. A decision that decides if we even have a legal right to live a best life. The cases before the High Court hinges on our nightmare regime's Department of Justice, arguing in favor of defining the federal ban on sex discrimination in the workplace as one that enshrines the legal protection to fire someone because they are part of the LGBTQ community. Welcome to Trump's Twilight Zone. The same president who told LGBTQ voters to vote for him because he would protect us is the same president whose DOJ is actually asking for permission to ban us from protections against actual harm and discrimination. A best life indeed. I can see why these hashtag moments feel more empowering than barricading and chaining ourselves to the steps of the White House. We want people to know we're dating again, or we're throwing a dinner party, or that we're moving to a new city. We want the communal experience of being, even when the being hasn't even begun. Something tugs inside the meat brain, and we sense ourselves in the refractions of light and memory. We have forgotten to see ourselves in lives playing out next door and across hemispheres. The protesters in Chile are living their best lives as they set fire to the buses and late trains. Chicago's teachers are living their best lives, drumming in the streets on strike and walking out to demand a better future for hundreds of thousands of students trapped in ill-functioning school systems. Our sisters are living their best lives, bringing the CNN LGBT town hall to a halt, demanding to know why Black trans women are being erased from the same conversation that is killing them every day. We lived our best lives in Ferguson on shutdown freeways and running from tear gas clouds, and we are living our best lives in this room. These are all a best life of no and not yes. No to abuse. No to second-class citizenship. No to rising nationalism. No to rising rent. No to lies. No to racist cops. No to cops. No to war. No to more drones. No to the rats gnawing on our toes. No to rigged elections. This means living our best lives knowing that Ben Carson is in the room. This means living our best lives knowing that they've stacked the federal appeals courts with lunatics who want us back in the closets. This means living our best lives as the climate melts. This means knowing that we can't survive if we say yes anymore. No elite Yelp badge or selfie bomb or thirst traps or good vibes or beach vacation check-ins are going to produce a best life for any queer person under the thumb of our current nightmare regime's escalating rate of cruelty. This is not a call to stop enjoying the overpriced cinnamon rolls because it reminds you of how your mama made them, or a call to ban Transformation Tuesdays, or a call to stop trying to improve yourself in whatever personal and intentional practices you know you need or want or just briefly embrace. This won't radically recourse our selfishness or even our envy. And I don't expect anyone to leave this redefining how they wish to live their better selves. This is just me breaking rocks and saying, now. Thank you so much for your time and attention. I don't know who I'm handing the show over to, but thank you so much for your watching. Thanks so much for anyone who donated while I was up here doing my little experiment in absurdity. But thank you so much. Thank you to MTUG. Thank you, Kristen. Thank you everyone in front of me. Oh, my zine is over there, but I'll bring it up real quick. But I just want to keep saying thank you to everyone. MTUG has been part of my chosen family for the last 10 years in St. Louis, and I love all of y'all. So thank you so much for continually inviting me. And yes, the wagons ain't here yet. Remember, the competition and challenge is still happening. If anyone donated $100, the first person to donate $100 is getting the stocking stuffer. Anyone that donates $500 or more throughout the rest of the telethon, the first person to, I will read this fabulous poem for you whenever you choose. So thank you so much. I appreciate it. And yeah, let's keep raising money. Where are we at now, folks? I don't know. Last I checked, we were close to $15,000. So yes, we're halfway there. We're halfway there. We're halfway through the telethon. So keep donating, keep calling, and keep supporting your trans community. We all love you. And solidarity. Thank you. Bye-bye.